Hello again. Liz Truss, our new Prime Minister, thinks that the one thing Britain lacks at the moment is immigrants. I'm bound to observe that few other people in this country have noticed that we are running short of immigrants or that immigration is running at too low a level. But there we are. The newspapers are filled this morning with headlines telling us about Liz Truss's plan for more migrants to boost growth, and Liz Truss plans to loosen immigration rules to boost UK economy. Well, of course, put like that, it makes perfect sense, of course. You can't have growth in the economy without a massive increase in immigration, can you? What sort of immigrants do we need, according to Truss? In the description to this video, I give a link to a couple of newspaper articles explaining this. It seems that Truss is pressing for a radical overhaul of the visa system as a way of dealing with labour shortages in this country and to attract the best talent. Before this ambitious project gets underway, though, she's planning to raise the cap almost immediately on seasonal agricultural workers, which will, I suppose, mean welcoming back all those Lithuanian and Romanian fruit pickers who were so helpful in increasing the diversity of Cambridgeshire and Lincolnshire. The government promises to ensure that 85% of the country has access to broadband full fibre, and it will apparently need many foreigners to implement it. The Prime Minister is also worried that the English language requirements are holding back the granting of visas to foreigners wishing to come and live in our country, and so she wants these to be relaxed or even scrapped. I suppose that this will help with the endemic shortage in Britain of foreigners who can't speak English properly. Some viewers might perhaps have noticed that this lack of people unable to speak the language is particularly acute in certain parts of London. It seems to me that all those who pin their hopes on a new Prime Minister who would get a grip on immigration are likely to have their hopes dashed by Truss's plans. She seems even keener on inviting more foreigners into the country than was Boris Johnson, and that's certainly saying something. I do not personally see any prospect at all of halting or even slowing immigration to this country. Every single Prime Minister over the last 25 years has been madly enthusiastic about immigrants and has always been keen to expand immigration. Liz Truss is just continuing this trend, just like the others. There's no hope in the Labour Party because they're even more keen on immigration than the Tories. I know that some people commenting here are keen on fringe groups such as the Patriotic Alternative, but the chances of any such group ever having any influence on the policy of a British government are slender. I can honestly see no practical way to bring an end to immigration in Britain. However much ordinary people are opposed to it, both the main political parties, and let's face it, governments in this country are always likely to be either Labour or Conservative, are really determined to bring ever-increasing number of foreigners here. Despite the fiction which is maintained that visas are being issued for work and study, most of those who arrive here from Asia and Africa know a good thing when they see one, and they'll be very unlikely to return to their own countries. This seems to be an intractable problem. I must admit to being a bit of a mug myself, for I had a faint hope that Liz Truss might be different, but if anything, she's even worse than the last crew who had control of Downing Street.